Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Folge 20 von If My Heart Had Wings. In der letzten Folge ist einiges passiert. Erstmal hat die Summer Break begonnen und unsere Soaring Club Members haben ihr Training Camp gestartet und dabei guten Progress gemacht. Sie haben zwischendurch auch Hilfe von Hotaru und Anchan bekommen, die zum Besuch vorbeigekommen sind. Weiterhin sind dann die Mädchen, also AGH und Amane, mit im Dormitory eingezogen, das zurzeit sehr leer ist wegen Summer Break, und deshalb leben sie die Tage jetzt dort zusammen. Außerdem hatten wir eine R18-Szene Girls Talk im Bathroom und schließlich hat AGH ihren Wettbewerb beim Robotics Club abgeschlossen und ihn dann verlassen, um sich voll auf den Soaring Club zu konzentrieren. Schauen wir also, wie es jetzt weitergeht. Excuse me. Coming. Oh boy, off to a good start. Who is it? Hey, that's sexual harassment. You can't greet visitors when you're not wearing any clothes. Oh, but I've got my underwear on. Who? You're AGH's little sister, aren't you? Ah, yes, that's right. I'm Himege Hotaru. You're Habane-san, is that right? Kotori is fine. Oh, Kotori-chan. Kotori-chan. Kotori-san, is Achan here? AGH, your sister came here. Oh, Hotaru. Kotori took Hotaru to the dining hall where everyone was having breakfast. Achan, I brought a change of clothes. Es ist problematisch, dass sie Achan nennt, wenn es auch Anchan gibt. Thanks. How about Mom? What did she say? That she'll kick your ass when you get back. It can't be helped, I guess. Hi, Hotaru. Morning, Aoni. You want some breakfast? No thanks, I ate at home already. I'm sorry, Amane-chan, but could you feed Hat? Sure, leave it to me. Come, Hat. Quack. You're in a good mood. Must be because the food here is so delicious. Quack. It's been a few days since we turned the dormitory into our training camp. Eating breakfast together became our daily routine. It's really lively, so it feels more like living together. Also, today we needed an especially solid breakfast. Unlike usual, today's work will be a test of our endurance. It's really sunny today. It looks like it got a bit hotter. Hey, little sis, how was it out there? The weather is really nice. We'd better put on some sunscreen. Oh yeah, come and help us too if you're free. Alright, if there's something I can do. Oh, there is. Anyone can do it. We just need an extra pair of hands. Are we going to polish the wings again? Well, today... Ja, ich bin richtig gut darin, diese Sounds zu machen. We're going to make a runway. Make a runway? Wie ist Amani denn letztes Mal... This is the runway. Dieses Feld sieht irgendwie nice aus. Auch mit diesem Ding, was da hinten steht, was ist das überhaupt? Ist das ein Auto? Sieht aber sehr seltsam aus. We stared in complete bewilderment at the wide open empty lot overgrown with lush grass. Are we going to tidy this whole place up? Yes, exactly. You told us to prepare ourselves, but after actually seeing this, it's quite intimidating. We were on the verge of completing the main wing, so we were finally starting preparations for the test flight. Among those was preparing the runway. In the meadows that stretched beside the lake, there was a wide, flat area without any slopes. When we heard runway, everyone imagined an airfield covered in asphalt or something like that. The weeds sure grow quickly in the summer. It was the first time I saw weeds overgrown to that extent. Since our glider was handmade, we'll be making the runway ourselves too. We had to tidy this place up. That's why we called for some help. Why the hell do I have to do something like this? So you're fine if I tell her? I can expose your embarrassing secrets to Eddie-chan, remember? That's a dirty trick. You're playing seriously dirty. You're the same, blabbing around about unnecessary things. I really should have kicked your ass for that. She really is a dude on the inside. Age had persuaded Masatsugu to come with us. Nice. Oh, this does look tough. Let's do our best. Kanako sieht nicht begeistert aus. As a condition for preparing her meals throughout the summer holidays, we got Kanako-san to come and help us. Can I really do this? We also brought along the unfortunate Hotaru, who came only to deliver a change of clothes for Agea. Oof! Quack quack! Nice. Einfach eine Herde Rinder mitbringen oder so. And then there was Hat. Ducks eat weeds, so we didn't really need to force them, we just took him out for a walk. Nice. But isn't this private property? Yeah, it is. It seems that the owner of this field is an old member from the Soaring Club. In other words, this person was a member of the past Soaring Club from before Amane-senpai and the others revived it again. Nice. They lent it to us for free, provided we cut the grass on a regular basis. Oof. Well, regular. Wow. Well then, let's get started. If we keep up this idle chatter, it'll get dark. At the command of our Vice President Habane Kotori, the wedding... What the fuck, me? The weeding commenced. The dreadful heat made it all the more difficult. There was nothing that would block the direct sunlight here. The wind blowing from the direction of the lake barely managed to cool us down a bit. It's hot. The towel wrapped around my head in place of a hat was already drenched in sweat. Everyone be careful not to get a heat stroke. It's said that you should drink water regularly. On a day as hot as today, it's best to drink something even before you start feeling thirsty. I'm done for. Can I go to the convenience store for a bit? That's pathetic. Aren't you a man? I'm just a gangly boy who has a part-time job, a band, and is crazy in love. What a way to characterize yourself. Kotori, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. My butt is getting really sweaty though. Das erzähle ich auch immer, mein Freund. We thought that it might be impossible for the wheelchair-bound Kotori to do the weeding, but she wanted to do it nevertheless. Ich hätte schon wieder bei einer Wedding gelesen. Oof. I'm worried that she will overdo it without thinking of her health and end up collapsing. Here, have a sports ring. Thanks. Yeah! What's wrong, Hotaru? A bug. Oh, come on. Come on. A grasshopper. Those aren't even the worst. A grasshopper jumped out of the grass that she was about to cut. Wow, how scary. What? It's just a grasshopper. Oh. Hotaru hid behind me, scared. Do people like that actually exist? Ich kann auch ein bisschen so Ekel gegenüber Spinnen verstehen und die nicht anfassen wollen, aber auch das ist meistens übertrieben. Aber what the hell? I caught the grasshopper and released it in an area that we had finished cutting. Don't get caught by Hat. He'll eat you. Grasshoppers are Duck's favorite food? What? That's news to me. Thanks, Aoni. Kanoko-san was using a lawnmower that Ageha borrowed from a local farm. She was cutting down all the weeds that weren't much higher than ankle level. That was no problem as long as they weren't tall enough to get tangled around the wheels, so there was no need to pull them out from the root. Hey, Hat-senpai, you're in the way. This'll make mincemeat out of you. Quack quack! Thinking that the lawnmower was a living thing, Hat sometimes tried to mess around with it. Hey, Aoi-kun, could you take him somewhere else? Will do. Quack! I carried Hat away. He didn't like it though, so he struggled all the way. Alright, he should be fine. Yo, Hat! Quack! Amane-senpai, could you take care of this troublemaker? Yeah, okay. Even Amane-senpai usually secludes herself in the garage was silently absorbed in the weeding today. That reminds me, when you did the test flight the other day, you also took off from here, right? The other day. Wie lange ist das jetzt her? Das muss doch bestimmt schon ein Monat sein, oder? Ich meine, ein paar Tage sind sie jetzt schon im Dormitory. Und Summer Vacation ging schon früher los. Egal, keine Lust, das jetzt nachzurechnen. That's right. How did you deal with the grass at that time? Irgendwie bothert mich ihr Hairclip gerade. Der hängt ein bisschen random. So wie das aussieht, hält er halt nicht mal die Strähne am Kopf und er hält auch nicht die Strähne selbst zusammen, weil er nicht komplett rumgeht. Also, why is she so close again? Ich muss gerade an einen wunderschönen Kommentar denken. Ja, eine Metapher für... I like that. I did it with the help of the advisor, Yamanobe-sensei. Only the necessary part, though. Why did he help her out, though? Huh? The advisor? Yes, the advisor. Ah, thanks for that helpful answer. Well, I guess the clubs usually have one of these. But I haven't even seen him once. Hey, Ageha. Huh? What's up? Do you know Yamanobe-sensei? Ah, that young male teacher. He's kind of unreliable and lanky. What does lanky even mean? Seems like he's our advisor. Yeah, I know. She knew about that? As I should have expected. Or doesn't he come to supervise our club activities? Yamanobe-sensei became a club advisor when the previous one retired. He's an amateur when it comes to gliders, and he isn't even that interested in them. He's not the type to rock the boat. He won't speak out against Tobioka-sensei. So the teachers only helped with one test flight? Yeah, Yamanobe-sensei only helps out when an extra pair of hands is needed. Like today? Okay, it's summer vacation. It's impossible to fly a glider all by yourself. I don't know what kind of person this Yamanobe-sensei was, but he was probably in a difficult position. There's no doubt there will be no end to his worries. She probably didn't want to burden him with anything. I was thinking about this while working hard on the runway maintenance. I noticed that everyone was covered in dirt. It seems that today's bath will feel especially good. With that, the preparations for the flight proceeded was about to reach steadily. Everything was a new experience to us, so even tackling tedious jobs felt refreshing. And then, one day in August, finally. We did it! At last, the main wings were complete. Everyone looked at the two giant white wings with a feeling of joy. A lot has happened, but we still got this far. We did it, Kotori. Yeah. Kotori looked like she could start crying any second, overcome with emotions. What are you getting all tearful for? I worked so hard. Now that I see it finished, I've never done anything like this before. I knew how she felt. However, it's still too early, don't you think? Exactly. Leave this far after it's taken flight. You're right. Kotori wiped her eyes with her arm and fired herself up again. There are no distortions and the surface is as smooth as can be. Amane-senpai checked her both completed main wings with an uncharacteristically serious expression. Distortions of the wings inhibit the normal flow of air, reducing the lift. Also, unevenness and scratches on the surface, even though so fine that they cannot be seen by the naked eye, will increase friction and create drag. These are good wings. With Amane-senpai's seal of approval, Ageha and Kotori high-fived each other triumphantly. Before I knew it, these two became a great duo. With this, we can fly, right? Yeah, we can fly. Tomorrow we can finally do the test flight. Okay, okay, okay. Stop! Neue Musik. Yeah. Das erinnert mich an irgendeinen Track. Early morning. Today we were finally doing the test flight. To do that we had to transport the glider to the runway. We put the glider on a special trailer and towed it by car. So they're finally finished. Anchan, who drove into the school grounds in a lightweight truck from the workshop, whispered to himself when he saw the main wings that had been loaded onto the trailer. By the way, we received permission for Anchan to bring his truck into the school grounds. That was the first time I had seen the advisor Yamanobe-sensei. As I had imagined, he seemed good-natured and diligent, but also quite timid. It's done, Anchan. Agea lifted her head and let us know that the trailer had been connected to the truck. Make sure that the aircraft won't get scratched inside the trailer. The glider had been separated into several parts and loaded onto the trailer. If they aren't firmly secured, they will scratch during transportation and they might get damaged. Isn't this a little loose? Agea, fetch me a towel. I put the towel into the gap to act as cushioning. That should do it. Okay then, let's get going. Abane-san will sit in the passenger seat and the rest of you can get on the cargo bed. You guys, come and give me a hand. Agea and I lifted up Kotori and put her down on the passenger seat. I could have gone in the back too. Kotori grumbled a little. I kind of understood how she felt. Agea and I took her wheelchair and got onto the cargo bed of the truck. Is everything ready? A-okay. Alright, here we go. He started the engine and the truck towed the trailer along. Hey everyone! When we arrived at the runway, Amane-senpai, who came here first to make preparations, waved her hand greeting us. Anchan parked the truck next to the runway and we jumped off the cargo bed. Whoa, that was fun! I've always wanted to ride on the cargo bed of a truck. You two sure had fun. We helped the dejected Kotori out of the passenger seat and onto the wheelchair. When we did that, Anchan disconnected the trailer from the truck. Tatsuya! Yo, Amane. I'm sorry I got you to help. Oh well, don't mention it. I'd do anything for these guys. Yeah. Also, it's not like I have nothing to do with it. I'm an old club member after all. I see. I really wanted to see this thing fly. Anchan, are you leaving? I was listening from the distance but couldn't resist butting in. I've got work to do. Huh? We wanted you to see it too, Anchan. It's okay. If you fly from here, I can see it from our workshop. Make sure to watch. Yeah, so you better do it right. Anchan gave us a refreshing smile, and he drove away in his truck. As soon as Anchan left, we immediately began the assembly. The aircraft was still in pieces on the trailer. First we put the fuselage on the ground, then we took out the two main wings. Kotori, keep an eye out and make sure it doesn't hit anything. Okay. Agea, Amane-senpai and I lifted up one of the main wings and attached it to the fuselage. Watch out for the wind. Even as much as a light breeze can generate some lift. If a strong wind were to blow straight into this, the generated lift would be quite capable of sending us flying along with the wing. Okay. After attaching the main wings, next was the tailplane. Wie wollen die denn abheben? Können die ernsthaft abheben hier? Nee, oder? Naja, geht ja auch schlecht. Sie können ja nicht mal Vorwärtsbewegung starten. Weird. After attaching the main wings, next was the tailplane. Steady, steady. We assembled it carefully, making sure not to scratch it. Oh. Ja, diese verpixelten Flügel. Die Hinterseite einfach. Oh, beautiful. Standing in front of the completed glider, we were all deeply moved. So this is how it looks like. It's huge. But it's beautiful. Until now, we didn't really get to see the full view of our very own aircraft. Compared to the regular planes that we were all familiar with, it looked kind of odd. In particular, the unusually long wings that we had completed yesterday looked quite unbalanced compared to the slightly short and stout fuselage. But were they really? Now that I knew that each and every part of this shape played a role in flying in the air, it felt incredibly beautiful to me. Let's begin the checks. Amane-senpai, holding the printed out checklist in one hand, gave out instructions to everyone. Do we have all of the tools? Everything's here. Before we fly, we had to make sure we had all the tools that were used for assembly. Ihr habt das sogar schon assembled. Ihr habt jetzt ohne die Tools gemacht. Oder hättet. Hä? If there's anything missing, it's possible that it's still somewhere inside the aircraft. Ah, okay. In such an event, it could cause a serious accident. Air in the tires? Sufficient. Aren't the pilot tubes blocked? They're fine. After that, the checklist covered a lot of things. We checked the airframe for abrasions, damage and such. We even examined the inside to see if bugs didn't make nests anywhere. At a glance, some of it might seem silly, but when we consider that we'll be flying through the air in this thing, we can't really say that. For example, if one of the meters gets blocked by a bug, it could affect the piloting and possibly even cause an accident. That's why we had to check these things before the flight. Also, by assembling the glider and doing all the checks ourselves, we were able to gain a deeper understanding of the machine. Amane-senpai said that she had made some revisions to the checklist that was made by the old members. Okay, next is the positive control check. As she said that Amane-senpai got into the cockpit. Right aileron. The rest of us standing outside went to the part that she called out. In this case, the right aileron, and held onto it, making it hard to move. Senpai moved the control stick to operate the aileron. At this time, if it moved with no resistance whatsoever, it's possible that the couplings between the control stick and the aileron had been severed. If this were a car, it would have been like wheels not responding to the movement of the steering wheel. Needless to say, that would be extremely dangerous. These checks were also carried out on the rudder and elevator. All is okay. Now then, Aoi-kun, can you get into the back seat? Warum soll in den backseat? Amane-senpai got out and I sat in the backseat. Then we repeated similar checks. Flaps and dive brakes are fine. Sollte nicht im front seat sitzen? Oder wird es echt vom Backseat gesteuert? Das wäre ein bisschen seltsam. Now that the assembly checks have all been completed, I got out of the cockpit. All members lined up for the briefing. The wind is calm today. It's a perfect day for a test flight. Amane-senpai should have been explaining the important point, spoke with a gloomy expression that contradicted the subject. That's why there's nothing to worry about. Surely everything will go smoothly. You're the one who's worried, Amane-chan. Oh. Kotori spoke quite tactlessly and Amane-senpai froze up. Then she started trembling. If there's no wind, the glider can't fly. That means we can't really say that today is good weather for flying. Oh, she said something. Hey Kotori, what are we going to do? Even if you ask me... Okay, let's stop for today. We've practiced assembling it. That's good enough. Hey, what are you talking about? We came this far. It would be weird to not fly. Well, you guys are just beginners, so you don't know. But when it comes to flying gliders, a more windy day would be... Amane-chan, you're just scared. But... At times like this, you should draw a kanji for person on your palm a few times and swallow it. Wie häufig habe ich das jetzt schon gehört? No way, I don't believe in such superstitions. She said something rather childish. Ja, du meinst Kotori, ja? Kotori said something rather childish. It'll be fine. In the calm wind, you should be able to fly more stably. I'll be backing you up too. Ach, sie fliegt jetzt doch? No way, I'm scared. Oh, she said that she's scared. Then we have no choice. Ageha, Aoi-kun. What? As Kotori signaled, Age and I firmly held Amane-senpai from both sides. What are you doing? Sorry, Amane-senpai. It's for your own good. Stop, let go of me. While we were restraining the struggling senpai, Kotori wrote the person kanji on the palm of her own hand a ridiculous number of times. Person. Writing it that many times should be enough. Then Kotori took a run-up. Hey, run-up is a bit... No, stop! Ha! Slapped sie over ihre Hand. Oof. Kotori made her swallow those person kanji, or rather, she slapped her in the face with all her strength. This looked almost like pro wrestling, where 3 bad guys teamed up to torment the good guy. Ja, was zur Hölle? So, how about it? You're less scared now, aren't you? Yes, because I saw something scarier just now. Oh, my nose. Having had some fighting spirit slapped into her, Amane-senpai held her reddened nose. Looks like it worked a little too well. Why did you slap her like that? What if Amane-senpai's nose shrinks and ruins her beauty? This is an anime nose, it can't possibly shrink any further. This was totally crazy. Senpai, are you alright? I'm fine. Thanks everyone, I feel a little braver now. Amane-senpai smiled faintly and walked towards the winch. Alright, it worked. Ouch! What do you mean? Ah! Senpai is my idol. Ow, what? 2 against 1? Better than 3 against 1. Kotori chased after us as we went off ahead. In the corner of the runway there was a huge thing that looks like a household power generator. Aha, okay. Hab solche Dinge auch auf meiner Wiese im Hintergarten rumstehen. This was the winch. A glider which has no thrust of its own cannot fly into the air by itself. A winch is Schleuder, oder? Yes, it's... Keine Ahnung. There are a few different methods of taking off. Typically, a normal plane is used to tower the glider into the air, where it is then detached. It's called airplane towering, and it sounds crazy scary. Then again, ja gut, macht nicht gleich so einen großen Unterschied, ne? Still scary. With this, you can reach a considerable altitude from the start. However, if you don't have such an expensive thing as an airplane at hand, you have to use a different method. That's where this winch comes in. To explain it simply, it's a machine which reels in a rope using a giant motor. Oh, okay. The glider is connected to the end of this rope, and when it is pulled with high speed, it can take off. It works just like launching a kite. The difference is that the glider is huge and quite heavy. Naturally, the winch has to be huge too. Das sieht aus ein bisschen wie eine Planierraupe. At first we use full power. Once the aircraft reaches an angle of about 30 degrees from the ground, we gradually decrease the power. Amane-senpai was teaching Kotori how to use the winch. She already explained this a few days ago and we tried operating it before, so now it was just a review. Our roles for today are Amane-senpai and I are pilots, Kotori operates the winch and Ageha works as ground control, supporting us during takeoff, landing and such. By the way, this winch appears to be quite pricey. Not as expensive as an airplane, but still. It was used by previous members of the Soaring Club, maintained since then and will now be put into operation again. It's been in service for many years. Okay. To be honest, the equipment here goes way beyond the scope of high school club activities. Yes! Thank you! Okay, I've got it. Well then, let's get ready for takeoff. Alright. We walked back from the winch towards the aircraft. It was about 1 kilometer away, so it took a while. 1 Kilometer, ja okay. Besser so, ne?